Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome to Anna Shonen. In today's video, I prepared a complete summary of Black Clover. So, hit the like button and subscribe to support the channel. Let's get to the summary. Magic Knight's entrance arc. A long time ago, a mage known as the Wizard King defeated a demon that threatened humanity, and his title came to be granted to mages who protect the Clover Kingdom. Asta, a young orphan living in a church, dreams of becoming the next Wizard King, but faces a major obstacle. He has no magic power. On the other hand, his childhood friend Yuno possesses great magical talent and a special grimoire, the same one used by the first Wizard King. During the grimoire acceptance ceremony held when 15-year-olds receive their grimoires, Yuno is given a rare grimoire with a 4-leaf clover. Asta, however, receives no grimoire at all. But after trying to help Yuno during a dangerous situation, a mysterious grimoire appears for Asta, allowing him to wield a sword and defeat the thief, attacking Yuno. This inspires Asta to vow that he will become the next Wizard King, just like Yuno. 6 months later, Asta and Yuno take part in the Magic Knight's entrance exam, where they must demonstrate their abilities. Asta stands out with his physical strength and impresses Captain Yami, who chooses him for his squad, the Black Bulls, even though no one else shows interest in him. Yuno, on the other hand, impresses everyone so much that all the captains want him on their teams, and he chooses the strongest squad, the Golden Dawn. After the Black Bulls initiation ceremony, where Asta must face Magna Swine, he officially joins the squad, despite the initial distrust from his teammates. During a mission to the village of Soshi, where Magna grew up, Asta and his companions face enemy mages led by Heath Grice, who are threatening the villagers. With the help of Magna, Noelle, and his sword, Asta defeats Heath and saves the village. This victory earns Asta and his friends a reward from the Wizard King. Meanwhile, Asta starts learning more about what it means to be a magic knight, encountering new experiences, like a visit to the market where he helps return a stolen purse, unaware that the owner is the Wizard King in disguise, Julius Novachrono. Impressed by Asta's magic, the Wizard King is already planning a secret mission for him. Dungeon Exploration Mission. A new dungeon appears near the Clover Kingdom's border, and the Wizard King assigns Asta to lead the exploration, with Luck Voltia and Noelle Silva accompanying him. Back at headquarters, Yami and Vanessa discuss the mission and Luck's involvement. On the way, the trio names the anti-bird Nero and begins to sense a strong mana presence in the dungeon. Asta, unable to sense mana, accidentally triggers a trap, but nullifies it. Luck, noticing many traps, becomes distracted and rushes off alone toward a strong mana presence, leaving Asta and Noelle behind. Noelle is immobilized by a trap, but Asta is freed by a powerful magic, and Yuno arrives to help them, saying he's repaying a debt to Asta. In the Clover Kingdom, William Vengeance is questioned about his decision to send Yuno to the dungeon. Yuno reunites with Asta and Noelle, and tensions rise between Noelle and the Golden Dawn members, Klaus Lunettes and Mimosa Vermilion. Meanwhile, Luck moves ahead at high speed, and Klaus orders Mimosa to locate the dungeon's center. Asta and Noelle begin a blind search with Nero's help. The Wizard King learns that the Diamond Kingdom has sent a group of mages led by Lotus Humalt to conquer the dungeon. Luck defeats Lotus's subordinates and challenges him to a fight. Lotus tries to escape, but Luck quickly catches up. During the battle, Lotus reveals a spell is weakening Luck and uses smoke magic to immobilize him. Meanwhile, Yuno and Klaus face Mars, a mage from the Diamond Kingdom, in a stalemate. Yuno decides to leave Klaus behind and head for the dungeon's center, but Mars attacks and temporarily traps him. Asta, Noelle, and Luck arrive to help, but Luck refuses assistance, remembering his mother and his obsession with winning. Asta insists and intervenes, leading Luck to finally accept help from his comrades. The battle between Luck and Lotus continues, with Luck remembering his mother and his desire to be strong. Lotus tries to end the fight using a restraining spell, but Asta cuts through the mist, trapping them. At the same time, Yuno reveals his hidden power by casting 2 spells at once, and Klaus starts to realize how strong Yuno really is. Meanwhile, Mars prepares to attack Yuno and Klaus with a massive crystal sword, but Asta interrupts him. The battle between Asta and Mars intensifies. Asta uses a newly discovered sword given by Nero to attack Mars and destroy his crystal armor. Mars quickly recovers and strengthens his attacks. Asta realizes the sword absorbs mana from Noelle and begins using that power against Mars. Mimosa tries to heal Noelle, but Mars attacks again, forcing Asta to protect everyone with his sword. As the fight escalates, Asta begins to weaken. Mars reveals he was the subject of a cruel experiment in the Diamond Kingdom, explaining his power. During the battle, Asta and Yuno team up to fight Mars, but he proves too strong. Just when all hope seems lost, a mysterious little girl with wings appears and defeats Mars with a single breath, disintegrating his spells and freeing the captives. The girl vanishes, and Yuno notices that the writing on a scroll he found now appears in his grimoire. Noelle and Asta also experience changes in their grimoires. As the dungeon starts to collapse, the group escapes with help from Luck and Klaus, while Mimosa tends to Asta. Lotus and his group also escape, having stolen the dungeon's treasures. Lotus reveals he used a spell to make his team invisible while Mars fought. When Asta wakes up, Klaus and Yuno finally recognize his worth as a true magic knight, embracing him as a real comrade. Royal Capital Assault Arc. After returning from the mission, Asta wakes up after a week of recovery. During a meal, Yami informs Asta that he must report to the Magic Knight's headquarters, while Luck and Magna are assigned to another mission. Upon arriving in the Noble region with Noelle, they meet Klaus, Yuno, and Mimosa, who were also summoned. Mimosa reveals to Noelle that she has feelings for Asta. At the headquarters, the Wizard King, Julius Novachrono, examines Asta and Yuno's grimoires. He recognizes Yuno's power as the wind spirit Sylph, but is unable to identify Asta's magic, which drains him when touching his sword. Julius explains that merits are required to become the Wizard King and challenges them to surpass the performances of the most renowned magic knights. At the ceremony, Julius promotes several magic knights with medals and starts a banquet. During the event, Asta faces insults, especially from Nozel and Solid Silva, who humiliate Noelle. Asta, irritated, challenges the knights, and a fight begins. He manages to repel attacks from Nibra and Solid Silva, but is restrained by Alecdora Sandler. However, Asta breaks free and even deflects an attack. Tension rises, and the royal capital is attacked by Rey Espirito, who brings an army of undead. Determined to protect the city, Asta heads out with Leopold Vermilion, and the Magic Knights organize a counterattack. On the battlefield, Asta quickly defeats the undead, but faces resistance from raids and his subordinates, including a magical corpse named Jimmy, who attacks him with cursed power bullets. Meanwhile, Yuno faces the mage Catherine, who uses a curse spell to remove his senses. However, Yuno overcomes her with Sylph's help and defeats the enemy. Charmy, distracted by the smell of food, also ends up fighting Catherine, sending her flying with her magic. Asta continues his fight against Raid's corpses with help from Leopold and Fugolian Vermilion. Raids reveals his intentions and tries to kill them, but is captured. However, his group has other plans, and the royal capital is once again threatened when Raids reveals that his real goal was to kill Fuegoleon, who is kidnapped. Julius Novachrono intervenes, kills members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, and tries to interrogate Raids about the Sephiroth, but is interrupted by an intense light, causing him and others to vanish. In the end, it is revealed that the terrorist group's mission is to destroy the Clover Kingdom. After the battle, Fuegoleon and Leopold are treated, and the situation in the royal capital is stabilized. Asta, now promoted to third-class junior magic knight, returns to the Black Bulls and shares his accomplishments. Yami reveals that Charmy was promoted to first-class junior magic knight. Asta expresses concern for Fuegoleon, but Yami reassures him. Before Finral appears and invites Asta to a group date. Eye of the Midnight Sun encounter. Finral invites Asta and Luck to a blind date. Asta initially doesn't connect with Rebecca, but they grow closer after talking about their families. Noelle, disguised as a waitress, watches everything jealously. When Asta defends Rebecca from a rude man, she is impressed, while Noelle becomes confused about Asta's feelings, thinking he likes Rebecca when he still actually loves Sister Lily. Meanwhile, Gauche visits his sister Marie and becomes furious upon seeing her playing with Asta. Later, Marie and other children disappear, kidnapped by enemy mages. Asta, Gauche, Noelle, and Sister Teresa join forces to rescue them. They confront Neige and Barreau, who were draining the children's mana. Asta shows strength and compassion, and Gauche decides to help after his sister pleads. Sally, a scientist from the Eye of the Midnight Sun, transforms Barreau into a monster, but Asta and Gauche defeat him as a team. Neige redeems himself and helps Asta in the end. Licht, the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, appears seeking Asta's grimoire. Yami arrives and fights Licht, introducing Asta to the use of Kai. Though he doesn't fully understand it, Asta begins using this new sense and defeats Valtos. Licht prepares a devastating spell, but Gauche and Finral manage to reflect the attack. Even with Licht weakened, members of the Third Eye, Raya, Veto, and Fana arrive and rescue him, showing power superior even to Licht's. Captains Nozel Silva, Charlotte Roselay, and Jack the Ripper arrive to reinforce the battle, and an intense fight breaks out. Asta surprises everyone by landing a direct hit on Licht, using determination instead of mana. Licht demands his swords, and Grimoire back, claiming they belong to his master, but Asta refuses. To prevent more destruction, The third eye seals Licht and retreats. Asta collapses from exhaustion. Later, Asta wakes up at the Magic Knight's base. Julius congratulates him and asks for help breaking the mental spells on prisoners from the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Asta uses his anti-magic, allowing Marks to obtain information. The terrorist group plans to create a new kingdom and received help from a captain. In a meeting with the captains, Julius reveals the traitor is Gueldre Poiseau. Asta stops him from escaping using Ki, and Rill captures him with his magic. It is discovered that Gueldre collaborated with the enemies for profit, and Julius orders the case kept secret. Later, Raya, disguised with transformation magic, reveals he was infiltrated as one of the captains. Julius informs that the enemy group is searching for magic stones and that one of them wounded Fuegolian. He assigns a new mission to the Black Bulls to retrieve one of these stones from the underwater temple, a high magic zone. Meanwhile, in Nairn, Gauche thanks Sister Teresa for helping with Marie. Rebecca returns Asta's cloak and kisses him on the cheek, which surprises Noelle and angers Marie, prompting Gauche to attack Asta once again out of jealousy. Underwater Temple Arc. The Black Bulls arrive at Roque Beach for a mission, but get distracted by fun and games. Finral tries to flirt with girls with the help of Gray in disguise. Magna wants to swim in but is pranked by Luck. Gauche tries to impress his sister, but gets jealous of Asta. Noelle tries to get Asta's attention out of jealousy toward Rebecca, but he stays focused on training. Yami reminds them of their mission and orders them to train for their infiltration of the underwater temple. Noelle, tasked with guiding them using her water magic, struggles to control it. During training, Noelle meets Kahono, a young singer with healing magic, who helps her improve her magical control. Noelle eventually masters her magic and creates the Sea Dragon's Nest. The group heads to the temple, facing a mono whirlpool that Asta destroys with his sword. Inside the temple, they fight a sea monster and meet High Priest Gifso, who proposes a game to win a magic stone. Annoyed, Noelle punches him. Gifso then challenges them to a battle royale. Though underestimated, Asta, Magna, Luck, and Gauche win easily, surprising Gifso, who acknowledges their strength. Yami bets 100,000 Yule on the Black Bulls, claiming they're stronger than they look. During the tournament, Asta reveals that his sword uses anti-magic. Magna and Luck face challenges, but remain confident. Yami warns that even stronger priests are coming, including 3 high-class ones. Finral is forced to fight by Yami. Charmy is put to sleep by Kahono, but the others continue. Asta battles Kiato, gaining the upper hand by copying his moves with raw strength. Noelle learns from Kahono to fight using both hands and starts using her power effectively. At that moment, Veto from the Eye of the Midnight Sun invades the temple, defeats Gio and other priests, and seeks the magic stone, spreading despair. Yami warns the group about the seriousness of the situation. Asta, Magna, and Luck confront Veto. Magna reflects on his friendship with Luck. Together, they use a combined fire and lightning spell, but Veto withstands it. Asta arrives and fights alongside Kiato, but both are defeated. Asta taunts Veto, reminding him of Licht's defeat. Meanwhile, Gauche and Gray face Zarek. Gray, low on mana, is carried by Gauche. Charmy wakes up, defeats Zuta, and frees them. Gray reveals her true form, surprising Gauche. Veto attacks Noelle and Kahono. Noelle awakens her power and injures Veto with the Sea Dragon's Roar, but he regenerates using demonic magic and activates his third eye. Noelle joins Asta to fight him. Vanessa traps Veto with her magic. Finral deflects spells, and Asta lands a hit that causes real pain. Veto realizes that only Asta's anti-magic is a true threat. The battle rages on. Asta and his allies, Vanessa, Finral, and Noelle, persevere. Veto tries to finish them off, but Asta remains determined. Even after they think they've defeated him, Veto emerges unscathed. However, driven by his friends, Asta keeps attacking. Veto begins to lose confidence and is finally defeated. Before dying, Veto recalls moments of hope with Licht and unleashes a final attack. Vanessa, Finral, and Noelle try to stop it, but Yami arrives and finishes Veto off with his powerful magic. He thanks the Black Bulls for their efforts. Back at the base, the group rests and prepares for the next mission. Noelle visits Kiato and Kahono, who are recovering. Yami holds a funeral for Veto. The prisoners are taken away, and the priest gives the magic stone as thanks. However, a new threat emerges. The Diamond Kingdom invades Clover's border, led by the 8 Shining Generals. Asta is surprised to see Yuno among the reinforcements, signaling an imminent new battle. Witch's Forest Arc. In the Diamond Kingdom, Ragus informs the Shining Generals that Clover's defenses are weakened after a terrorist attack. Bracos suggests attacking Chiton, and Yagos criticizes Clover's waste of resources. In Chiton, the Purple Orca activate a barrier, but Ragus destroys it and defeats the Magic Knights. Arrogant Bracos advances, but is easily defeated by Yuno. Sylph tries to cheer Yuno up, but he ignores her. At the Magic Knights' headquarters, Yami and Asta prepare to head to Chiton Titan, accompanied by Charmy. Julius watches Yuno and decides to send reinforcements. Finral is reluctantly sent with them. In Chiton, Yuno defeats Bracos. William Vengeance activates a massive magic tree, absorbing mana from the city. Yami arrives and faces Lotus Humalt, defeating him. Bracos tries to attack again, but William defeats him. Yami speaks with William, while Asta and Finral help the civilians. Asta and Yuno reunite and tease each other. Langris Vaude, Golden Dawn's vice captain and Finral's brother, shows up and humiliates Finral. Enraged, Finral stands up to him, surprising Langris. Yagos tries to take civilians as hostages, but Asta defeats him with Finral and Charmy's help. Yuno saves Asta. William reveals his scar and pass to Yami, explaining how Julius accepted him despite his appearance, raising Yami's suspicions that he may be the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Finral, Asta, and Charmy keep helping the civilians. Yuno praises Asta as his rival, while Langris looks down on him. Asta visits Dr. Owen, who reveals his arms are cursed and can't be healed. Asta refuses to give up and vows to keep fighting. His companions worry and look for ways to help him. Noelle says that Magna and Luck went to a dungeon in the Forsaken Realm, while Gauche and Gordon are researching curses in the library, and Charmy and Gray are searching the forest. Even in despair, Asta is grateful to his friends. Vanessa goes to the Witch's Forest, where she is captured by the Witch Queen. Noelle, Finral, Fanzel, Mariella, and Domina gather at Fanzel's house. Domina suggests seeking help from the Witch Queen. The group sets out facing security golems. In the forest, they find Vanessa being stepped on by the Queen, who traps Asta and reveals that Vanessa offered herself as a slave to save him. The Queen notices that two armies, one from the Diamond Kingdom and another from the Eye of the Midnight Sun, led by Fauna, are approaching to retrieve a magic stone. Fauna sets the forest on fire. Vanessa wakes up and argues with Asta, who tries to heal his arms with his sword but fails. Still, he insists on fighting. Impressed, the Queen heals and strengthens Asta's arms. Fanzel, Domina, and Mariella prepare for battle. Fauna and Salamander attack and capture some witches. Asta, Vanessa, Finral, and Noelle face the enemies. Noelle defeats Fauna with the Sea Dragon's Roar, and Asta uses Bull Thrust, with help from Finral and Vanessa, to defeat Fauna and Salamander. The Queen watches with interest. Fanzel faces soldiers from the Diamond Kingdom, including Mars and Ladros, his former disciples. Mars is now an ally of the Black Bulls, and Ladros reveals his ability to absorb mana. Mariella ambushes soldiers. Ladros grows stronger, and Mars suggests that only anti-magic or overwhelming mana can defeat him. Fauna, under magical control, threatens to self-destruct. Mars tries to save her, remembering how he was forced to kill her on a mission. Asta and Mars attempt to stop her. Mars manages to restore part of Fauna's memory, and she stops fighting. She explains that she was manipulated and used in an experiment. The group discovers that the Eye of the Midnight Sun is after a magic stone. Ladros, seemingly defeated, returns after absorbing massive magical energy. He proposes an alliance with Asta to take revenge on the world, but Asta refuses. Asta defeats Ladros with his anti-magic and the Demon Dweller's sword, showing that friends should help one another. Ladros begs for his life and tries to flee, but Asta keeps fighting. During the clash, Asta manifests a new dark power, suggesting a connection to a demon. The Queen comments that because Asta has no magic, he can control anti-magic, making him capable of defeating Ladros, who is finally defeated. The Queen then tries to control Asta with her magic, ordering him to kill his friends. Vanessa awakens the red thread of fate, preventing Asta from obeying. The Queen tries to dominate Vanessa but fails. Surprised, she admits defeat and acknowledges Vanessa's strength. The Queen heals everyone and gives Asta a magical earring. She explains that the magic stones increase the power of their holder, that the elves once used these stones before being defeated in a war against humans, and that Asta's swords are relics of the elves' leader. Asta faints upon hearing this. Outside the forest, Mars and Ladros decide to return to the Diamond Kingdom. Mars wants to reform the kingdom and receives help from the Queen. Fauna promises to wait for him. Mars also offers help to Asta. Vanessa reflects on being back in her homeland. In the end, Asta, Noelle, Finral, and Vanessa return to the Black Bull's headquarters. Asta informs Yami about the new magic stone. Yami tells him to go buy drinks and welcomes Vanessa, who says she's finally home. Royal Knights. After the battle, Asta is advised by Yami to rest, while the other Black Bulls, Magna, Luck, Gauche, Gordon, Charmy, and Gray return stronger and with changes in their personalities. At the Star Awards Festival, Asta and Noelle reunite with Kahono and Kiato. Asta heals Kahono with his magic, and she suggests a double date, surprising and unsettling Noelle with her interest in Asta. During the festival, Asta confesses his love to Noelle, but she pushes him away, saying he must stay focused on his goals. Later, Asta defends a woman from a noble, only to discover she is Charlotte Rosalie, captain of the Blue Rose. The situation is diffused confused with Yami's arrival, and Vanessa challenges Charlotte to a drinking contest, winning. At the ceremony, Golden Dawn takes first place, with Yuno as the top contributor. Asta and the Black Bulls take second, shocking everyone. Julius highlights the friendship between Asta and Yuno, which angers King Augustus, who then announces the formation of the Royal Knights. Asta decides to join. After the event, Julius advises Asta and Yuno to remain humble. Marioliona Vermilion, captain of the Crimson Lions, challenges the group to intense training at the Volcano Mountain. There, Noelle is pushed to grow, and Asta faces obstacles with his anti-magic sword. He helps defeat a lava monster, proving his strength. At the summit, the characters bathe in hot springs with comedic and reflective moments, including talks about Noelle's mother and Asta's devotion to Sister Lily. During the Royal Knights exam, Asta, Mimosa, and Xerxes, Zora in disguise, face a team with long-range magic. Xerxes, initially asleep, turns the battle around with his magic, securing victory and being praised by Augustus as the first chosen. Kirsch Vermilion, Mimosa's brother, wins using his petal magic, while Finral, with Leopold and Hamon, wins using spatial magic. Langris, Finral's brother, demonstrates superiority with his spatial magic, humiliating Finral. Ril Boy Mortier, captain of the Aquadeer, wins using his painting magic, and Luck and Klaus win with strategy. Yuno and Noelle also win. Noelle overcomes Solid, and Yuno easily destroys the crystal. In the second round, Asta, Mimosa, and Xerxes face Kirsch, Magna, and Sol. Asta destroys traps with his sword, and Mimosa defeats Sol. Their team wins, and the defeated acknowledge their shortcomings. Langris, fighting against Finral, seriously injures him. Asta stops Langris from continuing, and Julius scolds him. Langris challenges Asta, but is defeated. Zora reflects his magic, and Asta uses his black form, resulting in a draw. Langris is left humiliated and insecure. Ril accidentally destroys his own crystal, and Team P wins. Julius invites Zora to join the Magic Knights. Asta feels frustrated for not fighting Yuno. Marioliona appears at the Black Bull's base, revealing that everyone passed the exam. Zora joins the team, and they head to attack the Eye of the Midnight Sun's base. In the battle, Marioliona defeats Raya using Monozone. Yuno also displays his strength. At the Black Bull's base, Gauche, Gray, and Gordon face Valtos, Raids, and Sally. Gordon uses poison magic, and Gray transforms ice magic into crystal. Henry appears and transforms the base into a magical bull, defeating the enemies with the team's help. Meanwhile, Yami seeks William vengeance, but Julius discovers that he is actually Leaked, who seeks revenge against humans. Julius tries to stop him, but is mortally wounded. Yami arrives too late and promises to protect the kingdom. Asta stops Raya from self-destructing, proposing peace between humans and elves, though Raya is skeptical. Patoli, the true leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, reveals his plan to resurrect the elves and destroy humans using the magic stones. He sacrifices allies and spreads a reincarnation light, initiating the final attack on the Clover Kingdom. Elf Reincarnation Arc. After the start of the elf reincarnation, Noelle realizes that Luck and Ben are possessed, becoming hostile. Raya, in his true form, attacks using light and dark magic. Marioliona decides to face the elves alone to protect the group. Asta tries to help the possessed, but is stopped by Raya, who explains its reincarnation magic. New elves appear, and the battle intensifies. Even exhausted, Marioliona attempts a final spell, but the elves survive and surround her. Asta and Zora return and together defeat the elves using combined magic. During their escape, Asta is taken by Raya to a chamber where Mimosa, Klaus, and Hamon are possessed. Yuno, also possessed, regains consciousness, and with Asta, defeats Klaus and Hamon. Raya acknowledges Yuno's strength. Then, Lisht appears with overwhelming power, but Asta and Yuno defeat him through sheer determination. As the elves attack the kingdom, Asta, Yuno, Noelle, and others prepare to defend the capital. In Haga, Asta and Yuno face an elf with poison magic, saving the afflicted and freeing the elf. They split up to protect different regions. Magna and Vanessa fight Lufalu, possessed Luck. After a tough battle, they manage to free him. The Black Bulls regroup, face more elves, and protect civilians. They also face Raids, Sally, and Valtos, who return seeking revenge. Charmy assists, and Raids joins the group heading to the capital. Yami fights Marks and Owen, both possessed, and then Charlotte also taken over. He battles to save her. At the Magic Knights headquarters, more elves are fought to protect civilians. Noelle, Noelle, and Zora join the battle in the capital. Patoli prepares an attack on the royalty, while Yami, Finral, and Jack face elves, including Ratri. Yami defeats Ratri with Finral's help. Noelle, now stronger, defeats several enemies. Alongside Fuegoleon and Marioleona, she launches the final attack. They arrive at the Shadow Palace, where they face Lyra, who uses painting magic. Charmy reveals herself to be a hybrid of human and dwarf, transforming her magic and defeating Lyra's monsters. During the confrontation with Patoli and Raya, the elf Ron summons the demon Zagred, who manipulates everyone. Yuno, Asta, and Mimosa face the demon, who proves to be overwhelming. Noelle traps Patoli with Mercury magic. Asta confronts Patoli, helping him find redemption, and the two join forces against Zagred. The demon summons an interdimensional monster, but Asta blocks it with his anti-magic sword. While the knights battle Zagred and his monsters, Yami sacrifices his arm to save Charlotte. Secret uses sealing spells to protect the heroes. With Yuno's help, Asta defeats Zagred using his anti-magic. With the demon's death, the magic disappears and the palace begins to collapse. Everyone escapes. Patoli, seeking forgiveness, asks Asta to undo his reincarnation. Asta agrees and William spreads the truth, undoing the elves' magic. Lemuel, the first Magic King, briefly revives and then departs, trusting the kingdom's future. However, problems persist. Secret reveals that Asta has a demon in his grimoire, which worries everyone. Julius, now in a younger body, prepares to rebuild the Clover Kingdom, warning of 3 problems: the absence of a Magic King, the threat of foreign nations, the possible death of Asta. The Diamond and Heart Kingdoms are expanding. The Magic Parliament looks for someone to blame and may accuse the demons, especially Asta. At the trial, Asta is accused due to his connection with forbidden magic. He defends Marie, saying she was manipulated. The Black Bulls storm the court to support him, causing chaos. Secret breaks Asta's shackles, and after a magical confrontation, the group is sent on a mission to investigate demons outside the kingdom. Meanwhile, Noelle searches for information about her mother's death, discovering that Magicula, a demon, is responsible. Gordon is sent by Yami to gather information from his family who have knowledge about curses. Asta, Noelle, and Mimosa travel to the Heart Kingdom, where they meet Princess Lola Pechka, who is cursed and has only 1 year left to live. She asks for help to face Magicula, who threatens the Clover, Heart, and other kingdoms. The mages have 6 months to prepare. 6 months later, the Clover mages, Leopold, Charlotte, Rill, Charmy, Luck, Zora, Yuno, and others grow stronger to face Magicula and protect the kingdoms. Battle arc. United with the Heart Kingdom. In the Magic Zone, the mobile fortress Candelo advances while Spade Kingdom soldiers force citizens into a chamber that drains their mana to power the fortress. After being alerted by Lola Pechka, Asta arrives to help, defeating the soldiers and confronting the fortress captain, who claims their actions are necessary sacrifices for the Spade Kingdom. Asta vows to destroy the Spade Kingdom, showing his resolve and activating his Black Asta form. Noelle, Finral, and Mimosa arrive, with Mimosa healing the citizens, while Luck and Leopold defeat more soldiers. Asta informs the citizens that their true mission is to defeat the devils of the Dark Triad. Lola Pechka congratulates the heroes for reclaiming Toulon and mentions the creation of a barrier to monitor Magicula. Meanwhile, Charmy, now noticeably heavier, summons a giant sheep in a fit of gluttony, but is defeated by Asta and Rill. Elsewhere, Yuno discovers his royal lineage and learns that his family was overthrown by the Zogratis siblings, but he reaffirms his identity as a citizen of the Clover Kingdom. Later, Yuno battles Xenon Zogratis and his dark disciples, including a fight with Gaterwa and Foil Megisto, but is ultimately defeated by Xenon, who uses devil magic. Yuno is healed by William Vengeance's magic, though many members of the Golden Dawn perish. Meanwhile, the Dark Triad begins preparations to attack more kingdoms. In the Heart Kingdom, Vanica Zogratis and her disciples launch an assault, angering Noelle. In the Black Bulls, Asta faces off against Dante Zogratis, who uses his demonic powers to attack. Asta, in his demon form, manages to injure Dante, but is eventually overwhelmed by Dante's gravity magic. Impressed by Asta's resilience, Dante continues testing his powers, but Asta recovers and counters Dante's attacks with his Black Hurricane magic. However, Dante declares that Asta is no match for the Dark Triad. At a critical moment, Yami Sukahiro arrives and confronts Dante using his dark-infused EI Slash to wound him and defend the Black Bulls. Dante reveals his plan to link the worlds using the Tree of Qliphoth, allowing devils to invade the living world, prompting Yami to decide to end him immediately. Back in the Spade Kingdom, a Black Bull spy infiltrates Dante's chamber, but is nearly discovered by the Dark Disciples. He escapes using shadow magic. In the Heart Kingdom, Princess Lola Pechka uses her water magic to protect her people as 4 spirit guardians are defeated. She attempts to call for aid, but Noelle Silva assures her that the kingdom is in capable hands. Svenken Gotthard, a follower of Vanica, defeats a spirit guardian and attacks a woman and child, but is stopped by Luck Voltia. During the fight, Luck uses magic arrays to overcome Svenken's defenses and defeats him. Elsewhere, Leopold Vermilion battles Sivuar Snile, countering and defeating him with his own magic. Charmy fights Halbert Chavour and defeats him after a battle in Ponfroom Forest. Gadja also defeats another dark disciple, Hisher Ong, and returns to support Lolopechka. Lolopechka, Mimosa, and Noelle, now more confident in the Magic Knight's abilities, prepare to face Robero Ringert, who is defeated by Mimosa. With Lolopechka's help, Vanica Zogratis appears and reveals that she cursed Lolopechka and can revive Robero and other dark disciples. The battle with Vanica begins with Noelle, Mimosa, and Lolopechka joining forces against her. Noelle uses her Sea Dragon's Roar, but Vanica counters with her blood magic. Lolopechka helps suppress Vanica's magic, and Noelle lands a decisive blow with her Valkyrie dress, injuring Vanica. Vanica powers up and reveals her intention to destroy the world. Noelle continues to fight, while Mimosa reflects on Lolopechka's teachings. With the help of Sacred Swallowtail, Noelle tries to seal Vanica's power, but Magicula's magic interferes. Determined, Noelle keeps fighting as Vanica prepares even stronger attacks, but Noelle is temporarily defeated. Vanica plans to kidnap Lolopechka, while her disciples explode, causing widespread destruction in the Heart Kingdom. In the Spade Kingdom, Yami Sukahiro battles Dante Zogratis, who reveals the power of Lucifero. Dante regenerates quickly, and Yami realizes he needs Asta's help. Asta joins Yami, using his anti-magic devil powers. Together, they manage to deal serious damage, but Asta can only sustain the power for 50 seconds. As time runs out, Yami creates an opening for Asta, who lands a powerful blow and defeats Dante. However, Xenon Zogratis appears, bringing new danger to the group. Xenon gravely injures Yami and reveals that he has captured William Vengeance. When he tries to attack Asta, Finral redirects the strike, but Xenon escapes with Dante and William, leaving the Black Bulls in shock and the outcome of the battle uncertain. Spade Kingdom Raid. Asta is taken to the hospital after the battle, where Owen confirms he's out of danger, but his right arm is permanently damaged. As the Black Bulls recover, Owen suspects that Gray possesses abilities beyond simple transformation magic. Asta tries to leave to rescue Yami, but is stopped by Nacht Faust, the Black Bulls' vice captain, and a devil host. Nacht reveals that Yami is still alive and says he'll train Asta to fully harness his devil power. Meanwhile, the Magic Knight captains and Julius discuss the Dark Triad's plan to use Yami and Vengeance to open the gates of the underworld, using the Tree of Kulifat. After infiltrating the Spade Kingdom, Nacht takes command and assembles an elite task force, including Asta and Yuno, who reveals he is the prince of the Spade Kingdom. Noelle and other knights begin supreme magic training in Elysia to prepare to fight Vanica. Asta performs a forbidden ritual with Nacht to gain control over his devil, Liba. During the process, Liba recalls his tragic past with Rachita, Asta's mother. The two form a contract of friendship. Despite Asta failing repeatedly, Nacht continues training him, and Asta shows progress by creating a new technique using Yami's katana. Meanwhile, the knights prepare to invade the Spade Kingdom, but Nacht says Asta still isn't ready. At the Spade Kingdom's castle, the Dark Triad begins the ritual, and a giant devil appears. Mereoleona fights the monster using her new magic, while the knights split up to face Dante, Vanica, and Xenon. Yuno and Langris battle Xenon. Though initially overwhelmed, Yuno summons Sylph and uses the powerful Spirit of Boreas spell to turn the tide. Charlotte and Rill fight Vanica, with Charlotte weakening Magicula using her magic. Jack fights Dante, who reveals enhanced regeneration. Jack manages to injure Dante, shocking Nacht. Outside the castle, Mereoleona temporarily defeats the giant devil, and new allies like Ralph, Sally, and Rades arrive to support the resistance. With the first gate of the underworld open, Lilith and Nahama emerge and face Nacht and Jack, while the Tree of Qlifoth begins draining the world's mana, unleashing hordes of devils. Xenon recovers from Yuno's attacks and challenges the Clover Kingdom, while a massive devil attacks the capital. Julius and Damnatio try to stop it, but Julius reverts to his child form when time runs out. Asta arrives and uses his anti-magic to nullify the devil's attack, merging with Liba and being hailed as the Clover Kingdom's last hope. After the victory, Asta reflects on the 5-minute limit of his unit transformation with Liba. He defeats the giant devil and is recognized as the kingdom's protector, even gaining admiration from Solid Silva. Gimodello warns that Nacht is in danger, and Asta is teleported to the Spade Kingdom by Finral, where the Black Bulls are under devil attack. Fuegoleon Vermilion, the Spirit Guardians, and Patoli arrive to assist, while Noelle leads the Magic Knights to push back the invasion. In Elysia, the elves teach the knights how to use supreme magic. Luck Voltia masters it, destroying mid-level devils with his lightning battle fiend technique. In the Spade Castle, Lilith and Nahama gravely wound Nacht. A flashback reveals the tragic past with his brother Morgan, who who died due to a failed devil summoning of Lucifugus. Nacht tries to sacrifice himself using the Monument of Atonement spell, but is overwhelmed by Lilith and Nahama. As they're about to kill him, Asta arrives and saves him, fighting the Supreme Devils. Asta defeats Nahama, and when Lilith fuses with him to become stronger, the fusion feels fear for the first time. Nacht restrains them, giving Asta the opening to finish them off with his demon swords. After the win, Nacht praises Asta, but warns about the short time limit of unit. Asta compares Nacht to Yami, which irritates Nacht, though he admits the similarities. With the Qlifoth ritual advancing, Nacht decides to focus on defeating the Dark Triad. Jack fights Dante again, but can't damage him due to Dante's body magic and regeneration. Magna and Zora arrive, and Magna challenges Dante using a soul chain technique that equalizes their magic power. A flashback shows Magna's training with Zora to develop the technique. With power balanced, Magna holds his own against Dante. As Dante begins to falter, Magna finishes him with an uppercut, severing his link to Lucifero and draining his mana. Asta, Luck, and Nacht arrive surprised by Magna's victory. Jack acknowledges Magna's strength, and Nacht reflects on how a commoner defeated a 100% devil host. As Morris observes the fall of the Tree of Qlifoth and Dante's defeat, Nacht gives Magna recovery sweets and warns the group that teleportation won't work due to the remaining Triad members' magic. Despite being badly wounded, Dante refuses to accept defeat and challenges Jack again, but his magic is unstable. Jack engages him once more, while Asta and the others head to the next battle. Luck reveals the Heart Kingdom citizens are safe. Elsewhere in the castle, Charlotte and Rill face Vanica. Charlotte is nearly defeated, but Noelle and Gadja arrive to help. Vanica is thrilled to see Noelle and realizes Undine, the water spirit, is now with her. A flashback shows Dryad guiding Noelle in supreme magic. Undine reveals that after being weakened by Magicula's curse, she had to transfer to Noelle's grimoire. Together, Noelle and Undine aim to defeat Vanica and save Lolopechka. During the fight, Vanica taunts Noelle while battling Gadja. Noelle activates her Valkyrie dress, Saint Stage, and goes all out, piercing Vanica with Sea Dragon's roar. Though wounded, Vanica praises Noelle and suggests a rivalry, but Noelle refuses, saying the pain caused can't be erased. During the battle, Magicula partially manifests, revealing her full appearance requires both Vanica and Lolopechka's deaths. She turns Lolopechka into a devil-like form, accelerating her curse. Despite efforts from Noelle, Charlotte, and Rill, Magicula overwhelms them with her decaying world magic, which nullifies Saint Stage attacks. Gadja tries a powerful attack to save Lolopechka, but is fatally injured. With Undine fainting again, Noelle fights alone while Magicula begins to detonate devil power inside Lolopechka. At that moment, Asta arrives and uses his Demon Destroyer sword to nullify the explosion and save her. Magicula is stunned by his presence as the battle reignites. Vanica and Lolopechka's curses mysteriously vanish, and Charlotte, Rill, and Gadja rise to fight again. Magicula fuses dark disciples into giant devils, but Luck destroys one. Alongside Rill and Gadja, they expose Magicula's heart. Noelle tries to strike it, but is blocked. Nozel Silva arrives, protects Noelle, and attacks Magicula with mercury magic, destroying her body from within. Noelle then destroys Magicula's heart. Before disappearing, Magicula admits she underestimated human strength. With Magicula's defeat, the curses disappear and Lolopechka wakes up. Mimosa arrives and uses her magic to heal the severely injured, including Gadja, Rill, and Charlotte. Feeling guilty for the injuries Gadja sustained, Lolopechka confesses her love for him, shocking everyone. Nozel decides to help rescue Yami, acknowledging Yami's role in Noelle's growth. Nacht observes that everyone is making progress, but Xenon Zogratis still remains. During the battle against Xenon, Yuno asks Langris for 3 minutes to prepare his final attack. Langris agrees to protect him, recalling their past rivalry, but also recognizing Yuno's strength. Xenon attacks, but Langris holds him off. When Yuno finally unleashes the spirit of Euros, he severely wounds Xenon. Xenon recalls his past, his relationship with Alan Fierain, and the pact he made with Beelzebub. He then accepts becoming a full devil host, receiving a new heart. Reborn with greater power, Xenon defeats both Yuno and Langris. Finral arrives just in time to save them. After some hesitation, Langris agrees to fight alongside his brother. Yuno awakens a new power tied to his royal lineage, gaining control over the sun, moon, and stars, and reaches the Saint Stage. Using the Saint Spirit of Zephyr, Yuno destroys Xenon's heart, ending the battle and reaffirming his resolve to protect the Clover Kingdom. Although the Dark Triad has been defeated, the Qlifoth's gate opening ritual continues. Julius Novachrono collapses after sensing a dark presence, while Morris reveals he no longer needs the Triad to complete the ritual. He'll use Yami and William's vital cores to summon Lucifero, the King of Devils. At that moment, the Black Bulls burst in, destroying the Spade Kingdom's castle with the furious Black Bull and rescuing Yami. Through teamwork and arcane magic, they weaken Morris, and Asta demands Yami's release. Morris is defeated. The story flashes back to Yami's past, showing his journey from outcast to captain of the Black Bulls and how he found a true home. When he awakens, he finds his comrades around him and is saved. But the second gate of the Cliffoth opens, and Lucifero manifests in a monstrous body, fusing with the demons and the coffins of Yami and William. He destroys the castle with overwhelming gravity magic. The Black Bulls combine their powers to create the Ultra Giant Bull and battle Lucifero with magical punches and coordinated attacks. Lucifero regenerates and intensifies the gravity, threatening everyone around. Asta prepares to fight alongside Liba, using the Demon Slayer katana to activate Infinite/Equinox, cutting Lucifero in half with anti-magic. The gravity dissipates and the coffins of Yami and William fall, but are caught by the magic base. Yami and Nacht praise Asta for his efforts. After Lucifero's monstrous form is destroyed, Mimosa heals Yuno, who fires the spirit of Euros to save the city and the Magic Knights. Asta and Yuno exchange proud looks, and the Black Bulls surround Yami. However, the celebration is cut short when Lucifero re-emerges in his true form, with gravity crushing everything around him. He appears beside Asta and Liba and overwhelms them with his magic. Despite Asta's anti-magic, he's quickly defeated. The captains step in to fight Lucifero but are swiftly overpowered. Asta tries to rise again, fueled by thoughts of his allies, but Nacht stops him. Still, Asta insists only anti-magic can hurt the devil. Yuno and Leona continue to resist as Lucifero summons Adramelech, who refuses to intervene. Yami re-enters with Black Moon, shielding Nacht and negating the gravity. With help from Gray and William, Yami gains a new sword, Misteltain, and rejoins the battle. Zora and Sikri also join in, creating an opening. Yami and Nacht team up, strengthened by their bond, but Lucifero pierces both of them, leaving them near death. Asta and Liba awaken a new form, driven by memories of Asta's mother, Rachita. With this transformation, they land a devastating blow on Lucifero. As Lucifero tries to finish them, Yami and Nacht block him. Asta then strikes Lucifero with the Demon Destroyer sword, and Yuno prevents his escape, breaking his horn and knocking the Devil King unconscious. Adramelech takes Lucifero's heart, causing his body to disintegrate. After the battle, Mimosa heals Yami and Nacht with Charmy's help. Everyone begins to recover, and Yami jokingly hands Asta his katana. Nacht finally accepts being part of the Black Bulls. Nacht then takes Yuno to meet his mother, Ciel Grinberryall, Queen of the Spade Kingdom. They reunite with heartfelt emotion. Ciel reveals something important, but Yuno simply says that above all, he intends to keep his promise to Asta. Meanwhile, Asta thanks Liba, saying he doesn't hate his birth mother and now understands that he was loved. The two reaffirm their bond and shared dream. Asta will become the Wizard King, and Liba will be accepted by the world. Elsewhere, Damnatio Kira confronts Julius Novachrono, revealing that Astaroth, the Time Devil, mysteriously vanished and was replaced by Megicula. Damnatio concludes that Julius is actually Lucius Zogratis, Astaroth's host. Julius, overtaken by Lucius, returns to his adult form and strikes down Damnatio. Adramelech appears and confirms that everything has gone according to Lucius's plan. Lucius then declares, "The time has come." Final arc. Lucius Zogratis traveled to the deepest level of the underworld and defeated the remaining half of Lucifero, surprising the demon who hadn't expected to lose. Lucius explained that while demons are powerful, humans are more skilled in using magic. After immobilizing Lucifero with time magic, he extracted and apparently consumed his heart. 1 year and 3 months later, Asta is promoted to first-class Magic Knight, which bothers Ril Boismortier, who loses his title as the youngest Grand Magic Knight. During the celebration, rumors spread about the candidates for Wizard King, and Asta, after being rejected by Sister Lily, reaffirms his dream of becoming the Wizard King. Lucius Zogratis then reveals himself to be Julius Novachrono, whom he had killed. Now wielding absolute power, Lucius plans to destroy humanity and create a flawless world where everyone is equal. He targets Asta for elimination, considering him a flaw due to his lack of magic. Asta fights Lucius with Liba's help, but Lucius's power is overwhelming. Having absorbed Lucifero, Lucius transforms into a new entity, neither human nor demon. Using soul magic, he turns Sister Lily into a paladin who fights for him. While trying to save Lily, Asta is seriously wounded and seemingly dies. Believing Asta is still alive, the Black Bulls set out to find him. Asta survives and wakes up in a distant land, the Land of the Sun, where he is found by Ryuya Ryudo, the local shogun, and a childhood friend of Yami Sukahiro. Ryuya advises Asta to stay and train before facing Lucius again. In Hino country, Asta learns surprising truths about Yami's past and his connection to Ichika, Yami's sister. Guided by Ryuya and Ichika, Asta trains and learns new techniques, including Zetten. He enhances this technique using anti-magic, but still struggles. Over time, Asta improves and faces challenges like a harsh defeat at the hands of Ichika, who teaches him the importance of focus. He also learns about Ichika's tragic past. She claims Yami killed their entire family before fleeing to the Clover Kingdom. Meanwhile, new enemies like Lily Aquaria and Heath Grice, sent by Lucius, attack Hino country, and Asta prepares to confront them. Back in the Clover Kingdom, Lucius and his paladins wreak havoc, transforming those close to Asta into paladins. In a fierce battle, Yuno, now much stronger, fights Lucius but fails to defeat him. The battle rages on as the Magic Knights resist Lucius and his allies. The Black Bulls, aided by the Witch Queen, search for Asta, but are blocked by Damnatio Kira, now a paladin. Just when things seem hopeless, Asta returns and defeats Damnatio, rescuing the Black Bulls and using anti-magic to heal the wounded. With the team strengthened, Asta and Yuno face Lucius and his clones, seeking a way to defeat him. The battle intensifies as the Magic Knights struggle against Lucius's devastating magic. Asta, Yuno, and the Black Bulls continue fighting, but the threat is far from over. The final showdown looms as Lucius prepares to unleash a massive spell. Meanwhile, members of the Crimson Lions and Noelle's siblings fight their own battles, and Yami teams up with allies to face Morgan Faust, now controlled by a demon. As the end draws near, Asta and Yuno prepare for the decisive clash with Lucius, hoping that together they can defeat him and save the world. However, the battle is far from over and new threats emerge. Lucius, now in a new form, unveils his plan to dominate the Clover Kingdom. His illusion of victory over the Magic Knights falls apart when Rebecca notices something off about the Grimoire Towers. Lucius reveals that his real body has been secretly connected to all the towers in the kingdom. He explains that over time, the magic of deceased mages returns to the towers, and with a technique called Extreme Ultimate Magic, he has gained control over an immense magical power accumulated over generations. The situation worsens when Kaiser Granvorka, Revchi Salek, and Marx Francois mysteriously vanish, having been captured by Lucius. Without giving Asta and Yuno a chance to react, Lucius kills them in front of everyone and absorbs their magic. He uses this power to seal Yuno's abilities and Marx's memory magic, forcing the entire kingdom to witness the heroes' deaths. Meanwhile, Ryuya Ryudo organizes an effort to protect Asta, but Lucius strikes a powerful emotional blow by conjuring the image of Lucida, Asta's mother, and an important figure for Liba. Even knowing it's an illusion, Liba hesitates, breaking his devil union with Asta. Lucius exploits this weakness to land a devastating blow, striking them both and pushing the heroes to the brink of despair. Characters like Ryudo, Ichika, Noelle, and Yami look on in horror as Lucius summons newer, more grotesque versions of his paladins, including Morris, Morgan Faust, Yami's old friend and Nox's brother, and Asir Silva, Noelle's mother. These reanimations deeply shake the heroes, especially Noelle. Lucius finally moves to eliminate Asta, but Yuno emerges as the last pillar of resistance, casting the Never Neverland spell and astonishing even Ryuya with the magnitude of his magic. The remaining Magic Knights battle the demonic forms of Lucius's summoned paladins. Meanwhile, Mimosa Vermilion desperately searches for a way to help as the clash between Yuno and Lucius escalates. Despite Lucius's attempts to manipulate his mind, Yuno stays focused. He believes Asta will return, and so he fights with everything he's got. At last, Asta reappears, extending his Demon Dweller sword to Yuno. When Yuno grabs it, the anti-magic power flows into him, causing his right arm to be shrouded in shadow and a demonic wing to emerge. This unexpected transformation, along with Asta's return, might be the key to turning the tide, marking the beginning of the final, most intense challenge for Lucius. And that was the last published chapter of Black Clover.